Welcome to the Finding Wisdom Show. My name is Linda Singh, and today we're going to learn all about Shen performing arts. Today I have a very special guest, Dr. Richard Yin, who will explain to us what Shen performing arts is all about. Dr. Yin, thanks for joining us in the studio today.
Thank you very much.
I'm so excited you stopped by. Now you have an extraordinary background and knowledge of Shen performing arts. What's the meaning of Shen?
Okay, and actually I'm working for Newtown Dynasty Television in New York City, and our company is the only Chinese TV station which have providing unbiased, non-biased TV news to China and around the world. And we have also involved in many global competition series. For example, the classical Chinese dance, music arts, all these things, trying to preserve the traditional art forms and cultures. Also, NTD TV station has been a presenter of the Shen performing arts for the past couple of years. That's why we have a very close involvement with Shen performing arts. So in general, Shen performing arts is the world's most renowned dance and musical performing groups. And they have present the classical Chinese dance as well as music, trying to portray the most authentic Chinese cultures. And established in 2006 in New York, they currently have 3 different groups, and each troops have their own dance troops as well as the orchestra travel around the world every year to present these nice shows to the people around the world.
Wow, that's very interesting. What do you think of what Shen is doing?
Okay, so to me, I can see from the poster, Shen is reviving the 5,000 years of Chinese culture. As I mentioned before, they trying to reclaim and also revive the most authentic and the divinely inspired Chinese culture to the world, which has been almost totally lost in China, in the modern China.
Okay. I see you have with you a clip you brought with us today.
Yes.
Okay. Could you roll to the clip?
Sure. And this
Okay.
is all talking about, in general, what is Shen performing arts and what have been doing in the past couple of years.
Oh, very interesting. So excited to see
Yeah.
the clip. Okay.
My soul was very well fed tonight with the beauty of this performance. It just was breathtaking.
I was overwhelmed. It was beautiful, beautiful production. It was magnificent.
A dream world of perfection.
The male dancer, the male lead, whose name I do not know, is one of the most incredible dancers I have ever seen.
It was so inspiring. I think I may have found some new ideas for the next Avatar movie.
The double-string violin was played. I had tears in my eyes. It was so exquisitely beautiful.
To something not to be missed.
Shen Performing Arts is one of the most renowned performing arts companies in the world. Based in New York, its mission is to revive 5,000 years of divinely inspired culture. In ancient China, poets and artists emphasized virtue, study, and meditation because they took to heart an ancient Chinese belief that to create true art, there must first be inner beauty and purity. Today, the artists of Shen follow in this noble tradition of inner cultivation, which helps to bring an extraordinary depth to their work. Classical Chinese dance, which is Shen hallmark, is one of the most expressive and most demanding art forms in the world. Every year, Shen creates a whole new production with original dances, costumes, and music. adding the distinctive melodies of ancient Chinese instruments over Western orchestration, Shen Yun brings together two of the greatest musical traditions the world has ever known. The intricate costumes and headpieces offer a glimpse into the richness and diversity of China's past. Skilled designers create large-scale digital backdrops that whisk the audience off to faraway lands. After countless hours of training and rehearsal, and after each piece has been crafted down to the minutest detail, Shen Yun is ready to embark on a world tour. Everything comes together when the curtain rises. Everything comes together when Shen Yun takes the stage.
Dr. Yin, that was a beautiful video.
Definitely,
Thank
yes.
you.
Amazing.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yep.
That's very amazing. What is Shen Yun? What does Shen Yun mean?
Actually, a lot of audience ask about this question. So, literally translating into English, it means the beauty of divine being dancing. So, if you put Shen and Yun together in Chinese, it's all about the grace, the compassion, the beauty of heavenly realms, and all this being presented by the dancers through their postures, their forms. All this come together as the Shen Yun.
Wow, that's beautiful. I love that meaning.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very beautiful. What is considered traditional Chinese dance?
To my understanding, traditional Chinese dance always refer as the classical Chinese dance, which has been passed down through years, thousands of years in the Chinese history. You might notice that in the very beginning, so this dance only be present in the palace, imperial palace, and go through to the civil world. And through the dynasty after dynasties, it's soaking lots of wisdoms, virtues, and different movements through different dynasties, and form its very unique dance systems. So far, it become one of the most demanding and the most comprehensive dance systems in the world. It have different components, including the techniques, the forms, as well as the bearings I'll talk about later.
Okay, very interesting. When you're looking at the video and you're looking at all the movements, it's very interesting. Very, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
How does traditional Chinese folkloric dance differ from Western balletic performances?
Very interesting questions. If you have a chance to watch the Shen Performing Arts show, you notice on top of the classical Chinese dance, they also present the folk dance and also the ethnic dance, because these are also the two major components of the Chinese dance systems. However, compared with the classical Chinese dance, the folk dance and the ethnic dance, they are non-systematic trainings. They only nourish from the civil part. So if I want to compare the Chinese dance with the ballet dance, at least I have three parts which set this apart. First, if you notice, the classical Chinese dance always focuses around this. So all the movements are basically in the circular, which reflect their understanding about the cosmos, the universe, everything's in circular. While the ballet, you may notice, they always in the linear ways, right? Straight lines. That's the difference, you may notice.
Wow.
And the second thing is that in the classical Chinese dance, you use a lot of high techniques. For example, flipping, jumping, tumbling. All these things are rarely seen in the ballet dance. And last but not least, as mentioned in the last questions, we're talking about the bearings. Bearing is very hard to translate, but normally we always understand bearing means the innermost spirit of the dancers, which the dance have to present through the movement, the techniques, all the combinations, and pass the understanding and the beauty of the character to the audience. It needs years of trainings to have this all together, and it also needs the uplifting of the moral standard of the dancer to have such kind of bearings properly presented.
Wow, that's very interesting. So they have to have a special spiritual connection, I guess,
That's perfectly true.
to be able to do these dances.
Yes, if you go back to the history of China civilizations, you know that in the very beginning, we people always believe we are divinely inspired culture, being passed down by all the divines, and the China always called the divine beings or divinely empire, which means through the dynasties, a lot of divine beings live with our people, and they pass down a lot of key elements to us. And classical Chinese dance is one of the cultures being passed down through these divine beings.
It's very interesting. Very interesting. The techniques and the fact that it's also with the cosmos, the circular motion. Wow, that's very interesting. I didn't realize that it was so precise.
Yes,
so precise.
Precise is the right word.
And also so spiritual in terms of you're talking about the moon, the sun, the astrology that comes into it.
Yeah.
That's very different. It's very interesting. How demanding is, in your opinion, is classical Chinese dance?
Very, very demanding. And there's a Chinese saying called 1 minute on stage means 10 years of arduous training off stage. Very similar can be put on the classical Chinese dance. So normally for a proper dancer to go on stage, need at least 10 years of trainings. Not only the fundamental trainings for the postures, for the forms, but also high techniques like fumbling, flipping, jumping, and also the yun, and need to cultivate themselves, which means uplifting their moral standard, and also have to have a refinement of the character. All this takes years of trainings.
Wow. So how do you find someone to perform on stage with Shen Yun? How do they find their artists?
That's a good question. Yes, yes. As I mentioned before, I'm also a main organizer for the global competition series NTD TVs, and one of the competitions is called Classical Chinese Dance. And through this media, we have inviting a lot of talented dancers around the world to join us. And this is one way we can find out the best talent. And if they in line, with the mission which I present for the Shen Performing Arts, they definitely want to apply to join the troops and have passed through different contests until they can be accepted by the Shen Performing Arts. So far, Shen Performing Arts has accepted many, many high talented dancers around the world, mostly Asian Chinese peoples, but they want to present the same culture being inherited through their blood. They want to pass that to the world as well.
Wow, it's very interesting. So do you have to be of Asian background in order to be a part of this wonderful show?
To me, not necessary.